Long ago, there was a planet known as GJ504b. Its planet was assumed to be nothing more than just a simple gas giant. However, it was more than that, because I called it home. The planet of the cherry blossom, or we like to call it Cherry Sun. Planet Cherry Sun. It was my home planet, where pink plant-like pods would cover the entire surface of the planet, underneath an unfathomable large tree that covered half of the entire planet. The tree was called Mom. These pods would then soon grow into little flowers that one day would take over the responsibility of Mom. I hope to be her someday. I was an unusual flower, unfortunately, though. I wasn't like all the others. I would always be picked on by popular flowers like azalea, bigonless, and butterfly bush. Why? Because I was a flower that wasn't supposed to be born this way. I was born a lily, the first ever lily flower that had the bright shade of a pink and a darkish green stem. I was abnormal. Nobody liked me or wanted to do anything with me, like share nectar, photosynthesize, or even share water together. I'd basically be an outcast. My mom would tell me that I'd be big and strong. I might even surpass everyone someday. But I didn't believe her. I was always shorter than everyone anyway. Granted, I was the youngest flower. My life wasn't the best or exciting. But one day, the planet Cherry Sun started to shake. Everyone was screaming and swaying with the large amount of wind that was blowing by. Heck, some even got lifted off from their roots. Mom didn't know what was happening either. She tried her best to protect us with her leaves, her stems, trying to hold us down, trying her best to stop us from flying away. But she couldn't control the disaster for long, causing her to wither at an alarming rate. Super fast. The world started to crumble, and the flowers were being blown away. All except me. I look up and see a giant rock coming towards us. It was on fire as well. And then everything went dark. I eventually woke up again, but all I saw was still darkness. I quickly realized I was hurtling through a dark void attached to the same rock I was always attached to all my life. Nobody to tease me, no mom to help me, no water, and barely any light. I lost everything. And so I decided to fall asleep again and accept my fate. Fortunately for me, however, my fate was not to die out here. Things started to get heated as I slowly woke up. But it wasn't my body, it was the rock. The rock started to get hotter and hotter as it picks up more and more speed. I started panicking, of course. I don't know what the heck's happening. And all of a sudden, I landed? And for the first time ever, I didn't even know this could happen, but I was extracted from my pod. I didn't know how. I didn't know why. But I was pulled out of it. And I felt free. After passing out again, I woke up on a hard surface as seeing nothing but bright lights shined in my face and weird noises going off. Then I see a creature attached to some object before detaching herself and coming over to me. She approached me and asked me if I was okay and gave me a lot of water and showered me in sunlight. She took me in and cared for me for years while I recovered from traveling so far in what I later learned was named space. About a decade or so later, the scientists taught me so many things, like what a chair was, a bed, what a computer were, and the planet we reside on, Earth. It's a beautiful planet with many colors, not just pink. Could use a little bit more though. I also found out I have some plant-like abilities that I wasn't able to use while I was in the pod, but the beautiful dragonic scientist taught me all. My favorite thing I like to do was go on this device called a computer. I would watch all these humans and creatures alike doing all these things like exploring virtual worlds, playing a lot of games, interacting with others, talking to each other, all kinds of stuff. I tried it all, but the only thing I was intrigued with the most is something called a vtuber. Everyone was being a vtuber, everyone, and they were expressing their way of how they looked. The scientist told me that I shouldn't go out because people would freak out seeing that an alien had crash landed on Earth. And so this was the best way we could do it. This was the best way I can show myself to everybody without alarming everybody. And I wanted to become that. I wanted to become a VTuber. So I rushed over to the scientist and asked her if she can help me become a VTuber. And she gladly said yes and offered me with many equipment to help me achieve this goal. It took a long time, and now I finally am ready to express myself and introduce myself to the world. And so